Thank you very much. That was a wonderful welcome. And hello, everyone. Welcome to these exciting 2 days. We're glad to have you in the room. I'm going to just give a brief health and safety. We'll go through some slides, walk you through Slido. If you don't know about Slido, give you a chance to log on, and then kick off this wonderful symposium. Slides. So first up, let's do health and safety. In the event of emergency, we will go out the exits. We have a muster point in the parking lot towards the left. It's by the meadow. If you know where the wildflower meadow is, it's over in that direction. So fire, that's where we'll go. If it's an earthquake, of course, we drop, hold onto the tables and duck, and we will be told if we need to evacuate or not. Remember, you take the trifecta with you, your keys, your wallet, and your phone, because you may be locked out of the building if there is a major earthquake. The other thing is about bio breaks. The tea and coffee is rather obvious. It's right behind me in the hall. If you need a different type of bio break, you have to have some sleuth capabilities. You go all the way down, past the stairs. It's a tiny door on your right, and it's very discreet, so keep your eyes open, and that's where the toilets are located. Next slide, please. I just want to say thank you very much to our organizers. There's a whole team up there. It's really a broad collaboration between Scion, University of Canterbury, Manaki Whenua, City of Christchurch, and of course we couldn't do it without our sponsor, Orbica. Next slide, please. So just a quick note here, Orbica here is sponsoring us. Please visit them and their table. They are a great help with us when it comes to geospatial planning and using their tools. We also want to thank Tree Tech and Rickerton House and Bush, who volunteered their time for you tomorrow on the field trip. So some exciting day tomorrow, and they volunteered for that because they recognize the importance of this mahi. Next slide, please. Slido. Here's your slide. If you haven't already downloaded the app and logged it in, this is your chance. I'll give you a minute. You could be occupied with it while I continue to talk. So we'll keep it on this slide for a little bit while I continue to talk. Now, this symposium is really important because we face quite the challenge as we look to densify our populations. We have to increase our urban housing, increase our urban facilities. How do we keep that green infrastructure? How do we keep our tree canopy? And importantly, how do we keep that connection of our children to the forest and to the natural environment so they understand the importance of what it brings to them, whether it's through their food source, their fiber, or just clean air and water and shade. Next slide, please. So I put a series of pictures up here, and what I really like about the title of this symposium is it has the word futures in it, because it is about the future. What we do today isn't really for us. We won't see the massive effects of it. It's for our children and our grandchildren and our great-grandchildren. And what we have out there, if you look at the trees out there, that links us to our grandparents and our great-grandparents, because they were the ones that planted that or protected that. And it's the thread that takes us through time. And it also inspires, if you look on the left there, I put children in there because it's full of mystery. Tall tussock is an adventure land. A forest is full of wonder. It inspires creativity, and it inspires us to understand how we can link our different economies, our values, and environment together. Next slide, please. And lots of places around New Zealand recognize this. Our 3 major cities, from Auckland to Wellington to Christchurch, recognize this. The Parliamentary Commissioner for the Environment recognizes this, an independent source of information to government. It's recognized, it's valued. Today, everyone here, we know this, we see it. Next slide. But there's challenges, lots of challenges out there, and that's where the opportunity arises. That's where we can come together, bringing different knowledge sources from different perspectives, and tackle some of these more tricky issues that we may face when we try to keep what we currently have or increase, better yet. And I just put them up here. So, how do you weave that green infrastructure into something that's already existing? So Wellington's facing that problem. Or Christchurch, as we build up and we continue to fill in our housing blocks? How do you keep and weave that green infrastructure? That's for you to think about today. The other thing is, when you plant for a warming climate, what do you plant? How do you make that decision? Do you plant for quick shade, which may be an exotic species, or do you plant for the future, which is more slow-growing indigenous species, which we want to see an increase of throughout the country? And then the other question is, how do you tackle some of those tricky questions? I put the car up there with the bird doo-doo on it because I don't even know if that's real, but that happens in my driveway every single year when the cherries come out and the birds come. But I tolerate it because I love that cherry tree. It's a massive old ornamental tree. It provides me shade. My kids climb on it. But some people won't tolerate it. So how do you tell the story that it's worth bird doo-doo on your car? Because it's lowering the heat wave that's coming in the summer. How do you tackle that social science problem, getting people on board? Who cares if the nuts fall off and make the sidewalk all crunchy? Yeah, next slide, please. So with that, I'm going to hand it over to our keynote speakers. We have a very exciting program today. Our keynote speakers will be kicking it off. And I think what's important about the program today is it's really bringing those different aspects of knowledge together. And that's what we need to do. We need to create space, listen to where we all come from, because it's together that we can tackle these tricky issues. So we have Simon Upton here from the Parliamentary Commission. If you don't know anything about the Parliamentary Commission for the Environment, it's an independent recommendation body. So they're independent of the government of the day, and they scan and look for tricky issues that New Zealand may be facing or will be facing when it comes to the environment. We also have Kelly Herzog here today from the city of Melbourne, and she will be talking to you about the perspectives of what Melbourne is facing and how they're looking to green their city. With that, I'll kick it off with Simon.